Basic income is both the preserver and the transformation of capitalism, and I'll tell you why. First of all, what a basic income is. It is an unconditional income for every individual. There's no work test, no income test. It's for individuals, not households. And there's no conditionality at all, except that different amounts might be paid to people of different ages. That is not a problem because your age is a conditionality you can't affect. It doesn't need to be inquired about by anybody. And once a computer knows your date of birth, it knows your age, knows how much basic income to pay. So the simplicity and the unbureaucratic nature of basic income is preserved. So a basic income is an unconditional income for every individual. It's sometimes called a citizen's basic income, a citizen's income, universal basic income, but it's always the same thing, an unconditional income for every individual. So capitalism, what is that? The Oxford English Dictionary gives a number of different definitions. First of all, capitalism is the possession of capital or wealth that exhibits, unfortunately, increasing levels of inequality. If we were to implement a basic income, then it would never be implemented alone. It would always be accompanied by a means of paying for it. We'd have to reduce means-tested benefits and increase taxes a bit, perhaps. We might impose a carbon tax. There are different ways of paying for it. What is important is that we should know what effects the scheme as a whole would have and not just the basic income. So it would be perfectly possible to arrange the funding for basic income so that inequality increased and so did poverty. We must not let that happen. What is essential is that only basic income schemes that reduce inequality should be implemented. Secondly, capitalism is an economic system in which private capital or wealth is used in the production or distribution of goods, and prices are determined mainly in a free market. Means-tested benefits, unfortunately, interfere with employment market decisions. A basic income could assist capitalism, as it could make the employment market more like a free market. Because it's completely unconditional, a basic income would not interfere in any way with people's employment market decisions or with the employment market as a whole. This will be good for industry and for workers. Free markets are a good thing because they enable efficient distribution of resources. However, basic income schemes should never be used as an excuse to abolish or reduce the public provision of those services best organised by the public sector. Some things are not best done in free markets. Take, for example, the National Health Service in the UK. It is an unconditional service which is offered free at the point of need. It's not the same kind of unconditionality as basic income, which is unconditionality of constant provision. You cannot replace the one with the other. A basic income should never be used as an excuse to abolish public sector services that we need, particularly free, unconditional public sector services. We need more of those, not fewer. Thirdly, capitalism is the dominance of private owners of capital and of production for profit. Basic income might enable workers to leave jobs in which they are dominated simply because they would already have a small, secure layer of income on which they could continue to rely. This would mean less domination in workplaces and the quality of jobs would inevitably increase because employers would need to attract workers to do the jobs that need doing. This will be good for everyone. Fourthly, capitalism assumes that everything has its price. It is here that basic income becomes the transformation of capitalism and not simply its preservation. Basic income could work very happily alongside capitalism, and at the same time it would offer a new paradigm based on gifts. A basic income to every individual, an income for everyone that's completely secure, and it would encourage people to use their time and energy for the benefit of society, purely as gifts. So basic income is both the preserver and the transformation of capitalism. The paper is in the Paul Craig Macmillan book called Basic Income, What, Why and How, published in 2022. You'll find all of my books on a website, torry.org.uk, Torry spelt Torry, and then /basic-income. I hope you'll enjoy reading some of that. Thank you for listening.